call it to order. Roll call.
Mayor Ambrosio Hernandez,
Here.
Commissioner Lazar Guajardo,
Present.
Commissioner Bobby Carrillo,
Here.
Commissioner Ramiro Caballero,
Present.
Commissioner Daniel Chavez,
Here.
Commissioner Ricardo Medina,
Present.
and Commissioner Itza Flores.
Present.
Thank you, Mayor.
Great.
Thank you, Hilda, Vice President. 1B, Pledge of Allegiance and Invocation by Luis.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pray. Father, we come to you this hour asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered together. We pray for your guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Luis. Item 2, public testimony. Anybody sign up, Hilda? No? Item number 3, public hearings. None either. Thank you, ma'am. 4, city manager's reports. Submission of the sales tax collection report for December 2020. Yes, Mayor Commissioners, we're up a little over 6% for the month over month, and we're number 3, and we're really over 9% for the year. So we're doing pretty good on sales tax.
Great.
B, the tax collection report for November 2020. We are a little down on tax collection, 0.47%, but that's not too bad to be down. And C, delinquent tax reports. The delinquent tax attorneys are in the audience. I want to give you a quick report for the end of the year.
Great.
Mike?
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commissioners. Just for the record, Michael from Weinbarger.
Yes, sir.
Before I bore y'all with the details of tax collection numbers, I'd just like to thank y'all for giving us the opportunity to serve y'all for another year. And I'd like to share something with the Commission and the City of Pharr citizens that y'all may not know, and that is that when this pandemic first started in early March, one of the very first phone calls that we got was actually from Mayor Ambrosio Hernandez. And his concern was, what can we do to help the citizens of Pharr when it comes to the delinquent tax collections? And we worked together as an office with our statewide offices, and we came up with a plan that was really instituted just for the city of Pharr and its citizens here, and to how to compassionately do our job of collecting taxes. And then we took that model and we actually implemented it across the entire state of Texas. So Mayor, I want to thank you for reaching out to us, because really in early March, you were the catalyst that helped us develop a plan that we ended up using statewide. So thank you for that. With that being said, I want to let you know that I'll make it very quick. If you look at our report that you have in your package, I'm going to kind of I'm going to skip over the individual details, but I'll tell you that considering the pandemic and how it affected us for most of this year, we actually collected 94% of what we had the prior year, which was a non-pandemic year. So this past year, we collected just over $587,000 versus $625,000 the prior year. So that's a difference of about $37,500. So again, considering the impact of the pandemic, we put a delay on all our foreclosures. We put a stop on all the judgments in court. Despite all the setbacks we had for our enforcement tools, and despite us kind of working more closely with your taxpayers and giving them forbearance on their payments and whatnot, the fact that we came up 94% of what we did the prior years is, I think, very impressive. And I guess, and I'd like to say that's because of the approach that we took, and again, because we identified that problem early on and we're able to work with your citizens. So all in all, like your sales tax report, this is not up or down, but it's not by very much, it's very little. And the only silver lining in this cloud really is that the property tax money doesn't go away. If it's not collected, it's not like it went and got spent somewhere else. The money will still be there, and hopefully as once everyone returns back to work and things get better financially for all your constituents, then we'll collect that money down the road. Our job is to provide some consistency with collections, and I think we've done that as best we can. So that's really our report. Again, I want to thank y'all for giving us the opportunity to serve y'all. If y'all have any questions about how we do what we do, by all means.
No, I just want to thank you and your company for doing a great job. As always, you're always open, and I'm glad we had the discussion and it led to some fruitful discussion, but especially for our residents, and I'm sure it's the same problem all over the nation. People are going to have a hard time paying their bills, let alone taxes, but the fact that you're being modest, the fact that you guys came up with this plan from a discussion, that's gonna benefit the citizens of Pharr, because we certainly don't, our business, we don't wanna be taking their home, we don't wanna be taking their business either. We're here to help them, and right now, everybody needs help, and we're very fortunate to have a company like yours and the leadership that you guys have, that were open to the idea and came up with this novel, solution for us, and I'm glad it benefits everybody else. So thank you, Mr. Cano. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is just an informational item, so there's no
Yes, sir.
actions to be taken. Thank you.
No problem, thank you. Last thing I have, Mayor Commissioners, on the city manager's report, this will be our last meeting for 2020. Next time I see you all in the meeting will be 2021. So we are gonna have, as we promised, our New Year's fireworks and celebration. Same places as we did for 4th of July, 1103 East Nolana and 900 East Pesina. We are gonna have refreshments, all the same parking spaces, parking lots that were open for the public are gonna be open again this time. The only difference is the time. We're gonna do it at midnight, traditional for New Year's, instead of 9 o'clock.
Hey, los viejitos, we wanna sleep.
Well, y'all
I
kick
can
off the new
feel
year.
the fireworks last time.
We're gonna stream it live, so y'all welcome to record it also. What's the next morning? And I do have one more thing I want to bring up, the fire chief. As y'all know, I think it was a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, there was a rescue of a 4-year-old boy that fell in a 5-year-old boy that fell in the well in Stark County. And of course, we went out there to help, and Chief's gonna give you the synopsis. Chief?
Chief, I just want to let you know, before you get started, the way I found out about this story, actually, I was, I know you called me the day after, but I actually saw it on MSNBC, actually. It had come out, and I was there watching the news at 10 o'clock at night, and I see the logo, your logo, the city of Pharr, and there's a gentleman from the fire department.
That's him.
Oh, okay, that's you, yeah. And it was a sad story, but very exciting the way it came out, and the fact that all the cities came out to help that area, and one of our own was there, and on national news, that was very, very nice. Just, congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor, Honorable Mayor and Commissioners. Most of the information, the child fell about 10 feet in a 44-foot well. Luckily, he got stuck in that area. I'd like to introduce Deputy Chief Manuel Renta, Lieutenant Octavio Hernandez, and also firefighter Jacob Moran were the ones we dispatched to go assist there, along with the cities of Mission, McAllen, Edinburgh, and the other local fire departments that were assisting there, plus law enforcement and state law enforcement were also present. The guys did an excellent job. In fact, Lieutenant Hernandez was placed as managing the rescue, making sure everything was doing according to what was needed to be done. And firefighter Moran and Deputy Chief Renta got their hands dirty doing the actual digging and getting everything squared away. So they did an outstanding job. They were able to rescue a young man after 4.5 hours of digging, and they rescued him successfully. So I brought this gentleman up for recognition of what they did that particular day, and thank God that everything came out successfully.
Yes.
I'd like also to point out that Lieutenant Hernandez and firefighter Moran are also members of the Texas A&M Task Force 1 Region 3 Urban Search and Rescue. So a lot of that, what we do here coincides with what we do statewide also.
Great.
So-
That's a pretty bold statement you made, because there's a lot of UT people here. But
I
that's
understand,
okay.
sir.
That's
So-
all right. But just show how,
So is my daughter, sir.
yeah, I'm just saying, that's gutsy. But gentlemen, thank you. And again, I was very proud of you, and I'm sure the entire city is going to be very delighted when they see that. I'm sure the article's already come out, but you guys were called upon for a reason, because of the specialty that you guys provide and the experience you guys have. And it's really amazing to see that you guys go anywhere that you guys get called, even when there's storms and hurricanes and stuff. You guys are always being dispatched, and you never say no to help your fellow man. So we're very proud of you on behalf of the city of Pharr. And once again, keep up the great work, Chief. You got great people. Take care of them. Make sure they don't have all their supplies, all their equipment. Don't be shortchanging them. Don't ever put them at risk. I'm telling you right now, don't do it. But we're very, again, thank you. Tocayo Hernandez, thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys, good job. Number 5, consent agenda, all items are routine, non-controversial, and can be enacted in one motion, so you should choose.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 6, ordinances and resolution. 6A, consideration and action, if any, on ordinance amending ordinance 2020-37, regulating electioneering in public or private property, city-owned or city-controlled property used as polling places, providing for compliance, setting a fine for violation thereof, providing severability clause, and providing for an effective date. This is the third and final reading. Staff recommends approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 6B, consideration action, if any, on ordinance amending sign ordinance O 2014-14, second reading. Staff is recommending approval. Nothing's changed.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Sure. 6C, consideration action, if any, on resolution appointing or reappointing a representative and an alternate for Amigos del Valle Board of Directors for fiscal year 2021.
Motion to
There's-
table
We can table if you have no recommendations right now.
until we find
Second.
somebody.
Table? Okay. All in favor for table? Opposed? It passes. It is tabled.
6D, consideration action, if any, on resolution appointing one member to the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board. Yes, sir, the name that has come up to staff that would like to serve is Ben Cantu II.
So
Here from
moved.
Pharr.
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 6E, consideration action, if any, on resolution extending an advance funding agreement, executing an advance funding agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation for West Highland Road, Jackson Road to Cage Boulevard, CSJ number 0921022376. Yes, sir, this is for West Highland Road, street widening improvements. We're going from a 2-lane to a 3-lane facility with a center turn lane. The approximate, our engineer's estimate is 5.2 million. We are on the hook after all discounts and everything, and where we're at for $208,000. Staff is recommending approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Or was all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. And just so everybody knows, remember, this is one of many streets that are being addressed in South Pharr. It's a part of a multi-million-dollar endeavor that we're undertaking, not only Highline, but just, it should be La Milpas, and then Anaya, and then I Road will be starting as well. All this is following in the footsteps of us doing the military highway with TxDOT as well, with for the overway corridor in preparation for our bridge expansion and the commerce that's going to come. So quite a bit of investment will be is going to be rolled out now, and I'm very happy to see that MPO stepped up for it. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. 7A, consideration action, if any, on reconciliation change order number 3 in the amount of $11,515,089 and final acceptance of the International Bridge Expansion and Renovation Project with International Consulting Engineers and release of final payment and retainings in the amount of $71,419.88. This sir, project is substantially complete. Staff is recommend approval.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
7B, consideration action, if any, on deductive change order number 1 in the amount of $40,370 and final acceptance of the hike and bike sewer adjustment and lift station number 1 force main diversion project with Ferguson Service Systems, Inc., and release of final payment and retainings in the amount of $13,213.75. Yes, sir, this,
Second.
okay.
Discussion. Now, is this the final one they're going to move, or are there still more to move?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But we still have to do Cage, or no? No. And then after that, there shouldn't be any more, right? Because after that, they're gonna go down, what, Hall Acres and go to McAllen, and that should solve it. Okay. Any further discussion? Otherwise, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 7C, consideration action, if any, on deductive change order number 1 in the amount of $55,727.68, an increase of 60 calendar days to the contract for the PSJ City of Pharr Aquatic Facility Project. Yes, sir. So we do have a deductive change order for $55,000. Some welding inspections needed to be done that were hampered when a welding inspector backed out of the contract. And we're shuffling somebody around to cover the overage there. So it's a deductive change order, but it's gonna go to the testing facility. So that's gonna be a wash, and 60 calendar days, we had a lot of rain this summer. So the calendar days for rain delays and muddy conditions, they couldn't get into work. So staff is recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
So this is all within their contract?
Yes, sir.
This is- Okay, so,
We're not increasing the dollar amount of the contract at all.
okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 7D, consideration action, if any, on final acceptance of the design build downtown light improvement project with International Consultants Engineers and release of final payment and retainage in the amount of $40,438.85. Yes, Mayor Commissioner, these are the downtown arches that are in downtown. They finally got finished right before Thanksgiving, I believe it was. Staff is recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Okay. And don't forget, Omar, as we go forward to the next year, it's our plan to go all the way to that, what's that street in South Pharr, the one after, is it, not La Milpas, but
Anaya.
is it Anaya? That's the last one, right?
The last one, yeah, the last one's Anaya.
Right before,
Right before you head to the,
Military?
Highland doesn't have a light that crosses.
okay. So remember, as we, because right now we haven't kind of all squeezed in because it's downtown. That's the purpose of it, right? We want traffic here. But once we start going south, it's gonna be pretty much every traffic light, and that way, then you start that side of the levees. But those are, I don't know, it seems to be wider or something to me in my eye. So make sure we get that height correct, right? So we can hang things, but that's gonna be the plan, to get it all the way lit that way and have decorations on that side. Okay, any further discussion? In other words, all in favor? Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 7E, consideration action, if any, on amending the professional engineer rotation list for structural engineer projects. Yes, sure, we've done this in the past. Since it is a professional service, we're adding people or deleting engineers from the list. We'd like to add Solorio Inc. to the list as a structural engineer.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 8A, consideration action, if any, on memorandum of understanding between Texas Tropical Behavioral Health and the Pharr Police Department to collaborate to better serve the mental health customer in crisis. Yes, sir, as y'all should know or have heard, the city of Pharr and the Pharr PD is partnering to make a mental health unit. This is in support of that unit so we can exchange services.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Chief, this is the one you announced, is that right? Okay. And for clarification for the commission, because a lot of them weren't there, you're gonna have year-long training, right? It wasn't just a week that's gonna happen for your officers. You're gonna be training them on mental health, how to deal with mental health personnel when you interact with them in the public.
Yes, sir. So last week was a first of many trainings that we're going to have throughout the year. Eventually, we'll have every member of the Pharr Police Department trained to be a crisis intervention mental health officer.
Wonderful. Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. 8B, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to award proposal for fiscal year 2021 capital lease financing to Bank of America. Yes, sir, this is standard what we do every year. We go out for lease bids, lease proposals for capital lease financing, our trucks, our equipment, instead of paying them with cash on hand. So this year, Bank of America got the contract. There was 3 bidders, U.S. Bank and Bank Funding LLC. The low bidder was Bank of America.
Move for approval. Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 8C, consideration action, if any, on renewal of interlocal agreement between the Pharr Police Department and South Texas Auto Task Force. Staff is recommending approval. This is a continuing MOU with them.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
8D, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to extend the supply contract with Upper Valley Materials, DBA Kappa from Palmview, Texas for HMAC, cold mix, and caliche. This is a multi-item bid. The bid was broken up into the most advantageous for the city, which is D and E. You'll see it again. They're different companies. This is for the flex base on item 1. Staff is recommending approval.
Move for second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
You, 8E, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to extend the supply contract with Vulcan Construction Materials from San Antonio for HMAX cold mix and caliche. This is for items 5 and 6 on the bid. Staff is recommending approval.
So moved.
Second.
Is there no company in Pharr that does any of this stuff?
No, sir. Not the flex base, the cold base, the caliche. Not
Okay.
that tile.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 8F, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to extend the supply contract with North Lean DBA Printex Express from Pharr for the fire department activewear. Yes, sir, this is a existing contract. They're a good supplier. They've been supplying the fire department activewear, their caps, their T-shirts, all that stuff. It is a budgeted amount of $50,000. Staff is recommend approval.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
U8G, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to award construction contract for the Expressway 83 elevated storage tank rehabilitation project. Yes, sir, we had 7 bidders bid for this project. The low bidder was Viking Industrial Painting for $477,300. The bid is actually $467,300. There's a $10,000 contingency built into the plan. That is the lowest responsible bidder. Staff is recommend approval.
Move for approval.
When do they finish?
Omar, I don't know how long the contract is for.
Looks like they're gonna start in January and they'll be done by late April, early May.
Oh, good.
The coded logos and everything.
Okay, great. Has anything changed from the design that we saw last
No.
year? Okay, great. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
Thank you. 8H, consideration action, if any, authorizing city manager to negotiate and enter into an agreement with the construction manager for the nursing facility and the Texan Hotel projects.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. And
Thank
we-
you.
We have one item, don't we?
One more item left.
Okay.
8I, consideration action, if any, on renewal of camera services agreement between the City of Pharr National Bridge and Inmobiliaria Jugas, SACV. Yes, sir, this is an existing contract. We want to go ahead and renew it. Staff is recommend approval.
Second.
Any discussion? Those all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. Thank you.
That's all we have.
Nothing in executive session?
No, sir, no executive session today unless y'all need for anything else. We missed on the agenda.
I think Commissioner Medina had a question. Did you? Yeah, did you have a question?
Yeah, it's dealing with the loop about the toll
Yeah.
road.
Uh-huh.
Because my understanding was that we were supposed to have not a toll road.
It is a toll road.
That's what I-
It's always been, no, you're talking about the IBTC. That's free. IBTC goes north and south to the
So
expressway,
this one goes
east and west.
west.
It goes from Mission to Pharr. And it goes along that's the original design. It starts from the Pharr Bridge and it hugs the southern side of the levee all the way to Mission. But that one's tolled. The other one we're building goes from the bridge and it goes almost, that's out of San Juan, and it goes to the expressway to the airport in Edinburgh. That's free.
Okay, that's the one I wasn't concerned about, 'cause
Yes,
that's
sir.
ours.
Yes, sir. No. Ours is not tolled.
Okay, that's good.
To adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It passes. We are adjourned, time 4:23. Thank you.
Thank you.